Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, we are working on our website that will make us skinny. so, I have this, like, problem where basically, like, my whole life, my tummy has no idea how full he is, right? To the point where I can be, like, so full, where I'm, like, almost puking, right? Like, or am puking. I used to eat till I puked all the fucking time. And, like, my stomach, he's still just like, I'm hungry. Feed me. Could you please feed me, please? Right? Like, that's kind of my relationship with my stomach. Dude, okay, I gotta freak out. Okay. So it turns out that if you say anything about eating on the fucking internet, um, the comments on the internet will come at you and tell you all the reasons you're wrong. So just shut the fuck up, right? Okay? Like, I know you might think that something works for you. That's great, cool. You don't fucking know me. You don't know what I eat. You don't know what my life is like. So just don't come in here and tell me you have this problem because of this. I'll tell you it's not. You're wrong. You're wrong. Okay, that's fine. So just fuck. Have you tried stopping eating carbs? Dude, the amount of the comments being like, you're eating too much starch. Do you think I'm just fucking shoveling chips into my mouth and then being like, in 2 hours, I'm still hungry? Like, of fucking course, if you only eat Cheerios, you're not gonna feel full, right? I'm not fucking stupid. Oh my god. Okay, so I have this relationship with my tummy. I know he's a lying piece of shit. The thing that works for me is just like keeping track of what I've eaten so that I can tell if he's telling the truth or not, right? Again, I used to just eat till I threw up all the time because like I keep my like body's reaction when it starts to get full is like put more in, right? So I just have to be very aware of like the truth and then that solves the problem, right? So I want this like glorified spreadsheet that basically helps me keep track of that stuff. So we started this yesterday. Where we got to is that we have the ability to like put ingredients into a database and then read them back, right? So I can be like, food. I got food in here, and then we go back to this like ingredients list. Food. Wow. Right. So the idea is that we are going to add like all of the like nutrition information that comes with these things so that we can like look like could take ingredients, stitch them into meals, use those meals as like templates for things I ate today, right? I eat eggs, and on my eggs I put the same thing every time. So like being able to like pick from a preset, boom, boom, egg meal now, right? Or like I had 2 bread egg now instead of 3 bread egg now today. Like I want like that to easily be presentable somewhere, and then I can like look at like a day of food and be like, okay, so I had like this much of that thing and this much of that thing, right? Put it all together. Um, so I guess the goal for today is to add attributes to these ingredients, right? And maybe add some sort of like UI to edit those things, right? So like I look at the milk, I say I put 50 milliliters of milk in this thing. 50 milliliters is a small amount. Let's say I put like 400 milliliters of milk in my smoothie, right? How much nutrition is that? That's kind of like the goal for today, probably. Um, and so let's just kind of like see where that goes. Lols, good luck cursing at the start of the YouTube videos. Well, they actually only get mad if you curse in the first 7 seconds. And the first 7 seconds is such a short amount of time. I can freak the fuck out as much as I want after that 7 seconds is up. Okay. Ingredient properties. Ingredient properties. Okay, so where are they gonna go? I guess we can tackle this from like 2 ends, right? One is we start with the UI, and one is we start with database. I kind of want to start with UI, and I guess that means that like before even adding ingredient properties, we need some sort of like way to present an ingredient. So maybe we're actually starting with like ingredient page. Right? You could do something more intelligent than this, but for now, let's just make a page we'll go to ingredient.html, right? And in here, we can put like, ingredient ID is equal to something, right? So maybe we start with our main page having a list of the ingredients with hyperlinks to the ingredient pages. Sure, that seems reasonable. That seems reasonable to me. So let's do this. We have like our header of ingredients, and then we'll have a div who is allowed to have an ID of ingredient list. And in here, we'll just put a bunch of hyperlinks. How hard? I wonder how hard it'll be to just scan a barcode from a phone cam and track ingredients based on that. That's probably coming in the future. But I'm honestly not sure. I use like the same like 8 ingredients in everything, so like punching it by hand isn't really a big pain in the ass for me. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So index.js. Here we're gonna do something like window on load. We're gonna do like init, right? And we're gonna have some sort of like async function in it, and he's gonna be like fetch me the ingredients, right? And I guess that means that our ingredients response should be more of like a Java or a JSON blob, you know? So we can do like, you know, res is equal to this, and then we do like body just little ingredients is, you know, await res dot body or JSON maybe, I can't remember. And then let's just do a console log of this thing first. Let's just kind of see where this goes. So he's gonna be mad that it's not JSON, would be my bet on where this goes, right? Okay, so he does get this thing, and then does he log it? Yeah, he says not JSON. So that's probably our first fix here. Is our response to the ingredients request should turn these things into JSON. Stud JSON stringify. And these are going to go, you know, we're going to take some value. I guess it's more like write stream. Is this what we want? And we're going to write to stream like this. My bad. Hold on. Something changed, so I have to reset, but so it's like we have stud JSON write stream. Stream writer. Good. And with I don't give a fuck options. And here we can be like JSON writer begin object. Later we end an object. And then we iterate over our ingredients. And for each ingredients, I guess we punch him in there. So we're just gonna give him name and ID, probably, right? So we're gonna go like, or maybe ID to name. Yeah, that seems reasonable. JSON writer key object field of ingredient dot ID goes to. Is this right? Do I try here? Try this. And then write the name. Okay. Pipe. Then we end the object. And then we write that to the response buffer. Or to the HTTP response. So I think that's fine. This thing's mad because ID needs to be a string, huh? Stud format int format int to writer. Ugh. Maybe we do here, we'll do, I guess we will change this so that we kind of like make some space for the response. Or something. I don't know, man. Doesn't really matter. Do something else here. Do we even need, I guess is there even a response buffer that we're making? We could just do this We could just make like a buffered writer around the output. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. Could probably steal a few bits from the QR code decoder. I'm not aware of any way to translate that to ingredients other than creating mappings manually, though. I've thought about this on and off for the context of gym nutrition. Giving some fucking app info about everything I put into my body is not appealing, but I guess much of their value proposition is that database. Yeah. Yeah, true. True. I agree with everything you just said. Can we just do like stud format buff print? Oh yeah, that's how we do this. I'm a dumbass. Var, we have just a ID buff is like 10 U8s. And we do a stud format buff print into this guy. With just like this. Okay. And then we say try here. Like this. There we go. It's simple when you get it right. Boom. Okay. Cool. Nothing crazy there. And then we write the body. Yeah, okay. So when I go to here now, that looks like some JSON, baby. And then I refresh here, we get our little JSON. Look at us go. Have you ever thought about making a Nintendo emulator? I think emulators are kind of boring content, is what I've just realized. Is because there are a lot of just like, implement this instruction now. And it's not really like fun or like fun to watch. So I have thought about it and then I decided no. Okay, so I guess we iterate over all these things. And like for what's like the JavaScript? I think it's for key in ingredients, not of. There's one that's like key of ingredients and key in ingredients. I don't remember which one's which. I always forget. It's a hard life. Ingredients is not iterable, so in. There we go. There we go. So here we just go like we inject into the ingredients list. So we kind of do this, right? And then it's like, dude, I fucking need a language server, I think. Hold on. I forget. Where have we done web stuff before? Here we go. Give me this shit. Give me this shit, dude. I was a little excited because I discovered the topic and instantly want to make one. Yeah, I think they're fun to, they can be a little fun to do. I think that you should do one at some point in your life. Like, do like a shitty little emulator, like I did a Pico 8 at some point. Pretty fun. But yeah, just like depends. I think it's like a thing that's worth doing, but not worth me streaming right now. Dude, what is happening? What is bro working on? He's going crazy. Okay. Index.js, do I have? Nice. Okay. So, I guess this guy's a lot happier if I do document get element by ID ingredients list. The linter is happier by that. And then I think you could do like type is like HTML div element. And now I have like autocomplete on this things, which should help me a lot because I don't know what I'm fucking doing. Yeah, it's like you append something, right? So you do like document create elements. Yes. We make like a link, and then the link gets appended here, and we say like link inner text, inner link dot target. Yes. And here it's like slash ingredient.html with a query parameter of ID equals. And then on here, we can add in the key. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So then if I refresh here, no, append, ingredients list is null. Ingredient list. If you want to be like that, past me, fine. Okay. So then where the fuck are the links? Hello? Div ingredient list? We got a bunch of links in here. Oh, I guess they need their names, huh? Like this. Okay. And then it's not target, huh? It's like probably like href. Okay. Then we need, you know, some like new lines between them. Whoa, what's going on here? That's not good. That's a bug that we need to fix, maybe. This is in runtime segmented list at 259. Runtime segmented list 259. Maybe we'll just copy this whole. I guess maybe it'll come up. It might it'll come up again if it's if it's easy to reproduce, which it probably should be. At the very least, we should find a repro if we want to ignore it. Okay. So we want to do like document create element br like this. Then we should put some new lines in between. There we go. Cool. And then go to food, and then he's like, that doesn't exist. Okay. So we should be able to be like res ingredient. And now, does that thing, you know, exist? No? Why not? I thought that would work. Ingredient.html. Is that the same thing here? Ingredient.html? I think so. Maybe, oh, because he's not stripping out the query parameter. He's not stripping out the query parameter. Okay, we fixed that in our server. So when we say get target here, we say, we try to parse this thing, and we parse this into potential targets. We need to here strip out the query parameters. So, target end is, you know, std mem index of scalar. We look for a question mark in the target, or else target len. All right, I think that should do it. Boom. Okay, cool. Cool. So then in, I guess this server can stay running. Here we're gonna do, you know, we're doc type HTML, we're an HTML file, you know, wow, look at us go, we got a head. We got a body, and in here, we've got a source, or we've got, you know, a sibling, ingredient.js, who's gonna do all the real work, you know. And here we'll just say like, hello, smile. Let's just get some stuff in there. Ingredient.js, console log hello world, and let's refresh this guy. He's got hello there. We've got hello world here. Everyone's happy. Okay, so the first thing he's gonna have to do is he's going to have to look at the ID that we have is our query parameter, which is like a thing you could do. This is an idiot question, I think. Query parameter extract JavaScript. So it's like window, like from current URL, window location href. Yep. And he's saying you got URL object URL search params. So he's saying if I do like this, can we log URL search? What is that? What are we fucking talking about here? Search params? Yeah, sure. Dot entry. So can I just do that? Yeah, nice. Nice. Okay. So we're gonna do like ingredients this, I guess. Right? Surely. This is the ingredient. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That makes sense. That makes sense. Async function init so that we can do await in this thing. This is response. We got the, ingredient is response JSON. And then in here, we gotta figure this out. Console log ingredient, I guess, for now. Cool. This is gonna be pissed because this thing is just not going to answer, but this thing just didn't run because we have to do window onload is equal to init. There we go. Now he's like, yo, 3 doesn't fucking exist. So we try to get ingredients 3. I feel like ingredient might be a better name. We've got to look up like REST rules again. But okay. Okay, so here, I guess like we're gonna have give me all ingredients, right? And give me this ingredient. These are like 2 different requests. So I guess that kind of means that this is kind of more like URL, like target URIs here. And then this is going to be more like nice namey. So we're going to be like, we're going to have names like add ingredient. And he's a const u8. And we're going to have like ingredients, get ingredients. And we're going to have get ingredient singular with ID. Right? So now we're going to be like parse target URI. And I guess like this now gets a little tricky where we have like some targets are like start with and some are not. So like how do we need to flag somehow that like add ingredient is like should be an exact match and ingredients is like a thing that we can have like a starting match on? Or I guess we just kind of fall back to like other behavior after. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So if we matched ingredients exactly, we return get ingredients. And that's great. Okay. Here we're returning add ingredient with this ingredient name, and then let's think of this for a second. So we start by trying to match any of these URIs exactly. So this is going to be like exact, maybe? Yeah, maybe. And then maybe we have like leading URI or like starts with URIs. I wonder if that's worth doing. Or maybe for now, we're just getting too fancy. Okay, yeah, let's do this. If this thing matches, then we have some tag, then we do what we were doing before. Boom. Oops. This thing I think shouldn't ever return null, and this should be like file system. Maybe is like a thing that he can return, and he just returns the path back. So his default is to return file system equals target. That's easy. And then we just have to handle the like get ingredient case. So if starts with target starts with ingredient slash, then we try to parse out the ID after. That seems reasonable. Ingredients start is this. Okay, and then we're just like target from ingredients start len onwards. We have to make sure that and ingredient and target len is greater than ingredient start len. Boom, to prevent the out of bounds access here. We go onwards and we just say like stood format parse int here as an I64 from this guy. Right. And we just parse that thing out and return it. Boom. Simple. Okay, so the usage of this guy is totally different now. So there's no or else section here. This is now part of the switch statement. File system, you know, fs path is like this. And then anywhere we're using target here should be fs path. Boom. Okay, now this is now like no or else bullshit here. Then this has got a nicer name now. So this is add ingredient. This is ingredients. And then now we have get ingredient singular. Okay. So here, let's just do like a panic for now. Just to like prove that we're kind of in the right section. Okay, so we go back here, we go back to the main page. Everybody's happy, we're refreshing, okay. We can add stuff still, refresh. Maybe not, add, refresh. That's a little concerning. Control Shift R. This assertion's failing again, which is a little scary. So that was from an ASDF add, which now is not the case. Interesting. So I wonder if that means add ingredient isn't parsing correctly anymore? Hello, mom. Add? Is this button just not working anymore? Yeah, I did just get rid of that by mistake. That's funny. Oopsies. Oopsies. It was like fetch add ingredient with query param name equals plus oopsies ingredient name value. I think this is what we were doing before. I think. Refresh. Refresh. Add. Yeah, okay, there we go. So now refresh, hello mom's there, and then we go here and we should panic. Yes, because we are panicking because we are trying to get that ingredient and that doesn't exist yet. Cool, simple. Okay, so on get ingredient, what are we doing? We are trying to go into the database, I guess, and we're trying to get a singular ingredient now. Uh-huh. And I guess this is going to look very similar to get ingredients, but we're going to be like with a where ID is equal to the first thing that we want, which means that when we prepare our statement, we need to bind int 64. So here we need the like ID here. We bind this thing in here. So we say statement. We are binding with this statement, this index, and the value of ID. Simple. And then we probably want to check that this succeeds. Cool. Then we are expecting to just get one thing back. So we step this one time. If this thing is not equal to SQLite, I was expecting one row. So if res is not equal to SQLite row, then we're probably like return error no result. I guess maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not. Not sure. Then we do this stuff where we like try to pull out the param. So almost certainly this stuff should get shared with get ingredients plural. Almost certainly. Then we do if SQLite 3 statement is not equal to done, we'll say return error unexpected SQLite unexpected result or something. Okay. Then we return this thing. Probably. Maybe we don't even do this. Maybe we just say fuck it. We'll only if there's more than one get fucked. It should never happen. And then we'll just say return here. Yeah. Seems good to me. I guess we don't need to select the ID then. It's really kind of just select the name because we have the ID already. Cool. Cool. Have you tried die? No. Nope. Okay, so now we should be able to go back wherever the fuck we were. And it should be able to be like we get the ingredients. DB get ingredient with the scratch allocator, that type, and the ID. Is the ID first or second? First. Okay. Then this feels like it's common code to some extent, like this JSON writing stuff. It almost feels like we should have like respond JSON. And I guess really ingredients here should have been an array. Actually, And if this is like going to be like kind of resty, each element in the array is like an object. I think this is like the resty way, right? Each element is the object, and then each object has an ID field in it. That kind of feels more correct. So it's like we have like object field ID, and then we write the ingredient ID, and then it's like object field name is ingredient dot name, and then now this stuff becomes very easy to pull out into its own function, right? Now we can have like ingredient serialize. And I think there's actually a stood JSON like thing that exists for this. Right, where we can say like, please make this serializable. I just don't remember where it lives. Probably in here somewhere. No, maybe in dynamic? Or maybe it's like, let's look it up. Zig standard library. I guess actually the ingredient auto formats. So we don't even have to get crazy with it. We don't have to do jack shit. We can just write the thing as it is. I think. Can we just do this? I think we can do that. Let's see how that works for us. Yeah. I think that works. Simple. Wow, that makes my life way easier. Okay, so then I guess here it's like I feel like there's still some duplication here, but I don't know what it is yet. So we'll see. Get ingredient ID like this. With this guy. Maybe it's fine. We're going to write into a thing and then write the thing out. Yeah, I guess it feels like a lot, but I don't really know how to like shrink that down right now. Okay. So that means that our we get our ingredient here. So now we can start like kind of flushing out the ingredient page. Can you not begin an array and just write ingredients? Oh yeah, maybe, huh? Yeah, I wonder if you can just do like stood JSON stringify. I wonder. Stringify alloc with self-scratch allocator into with just the ingredients. Yeah, I wonder if that kind of probably gets a lot of this out of the way, huh? Yeah. I bet you that just solves all of that, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's way better. Good thought. Of course. Which means that this is literally just like ingredient. Oh yeah, that's way better. Way better. Way better. Yeah, okay, cool. Way better. I was overcomplicating it, as usual. Okay. So now we can go back to ingredient.js, maybe ingredient HTML, and in here we're like, we got our ingredient name. And I guess that's it. That's the only thing that exists right now, but later there will be more properties. But that's kind of the whole point of doing this now, is that we have somewhere to put them. So here we're gonna be like, once we get this thing, we say ingredient header is document get element by ID ingredient name, I think it was. What we call it, yeah. And then we'll do a little type HTML div heading element. Surely. And we'll call this title, I guess. Inner HTML or inner text, I guess, is the. Oh, this is the wrong fucking spot. We're supposed to be in ingredient JavaScript. Boom. Response name. Right. Our ingredient name, sorry. Let's go! So ID 3, 4, okay, cool. So now we go back to the main page. This is broken now because the way that we represent that data has changed. So this should be now for elem of ingredients. We do elem.id everywhere we were using key before. And then elem.name should still be the same, right? So this should be elem name here. Okay, let's try to fucking figure out now why this is crashing. This is important. Let's do a little 4227 crashy, and I think that we can say that the ingredient page is ready to go. Okay, so what the fuck is going on here? Backtrace. We are freaking out when we're trying to grow some stuff. So we read some data. What did we read? Amount 0. That's probably the bug. We're probably just not handling 0 correctly. Probably. So we're like in here, p start, p self-len, 0, 0. Yes, we just read 0 bytes. And he's mad. Wait, where was that? That was in contiguous slice 259. So when we try to create a contiguous slice from start to end, start is 0, length is 0, end is 0. So here we just want to say that start is less than self-len, or end minus start is equal to 0. That solves that probably. Just a little assertion there that was doing the wrong thing. So it's not even worth calling that out. Okay, ingredient property. So now we have this page. We can go to milk. Milk is here, but like milk has nothing. Milk has nothing. So in here, I guess we need to first start by adding a way to create a property, maybe, and then a way to modify a property. So I guess, yeah, let's start with a way to add a property. So what is that gonna look like API-wise? I guess is the best place to start. What's like the resty way to do this, right? So REST has like, you have like ingredients, and then you like put on ingredients, usually to like change its value. But if you're trying to like, if you have like a dynamic list of properties on this thing, I guess it like kind of looks like you're gonna have like a JSON blob that looks kind of like you know, it's gonna be like our ingredient's gonna have like an ID milk, right? And I guess like he's just gonna go straight into like properties like this. And in here, he's going to have, properties are going to be like your list of properties. Name, like, what the fuck is in, like, let's look up, like, soy milk. soy milk label or something. Can we look at, like, nutrition info? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. This is, wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? This is essentially what I have. So, like, oh, this is interesting too, that it's like, there are like headings and subheadings. That's interesting. That's like not something that I've considered. So how are we gonna like represent this? So this is like, we want like saturated fat 0.5 grams. I wonder, so probably in all contexts, every single context, saturated fat will be a subset of fat, right? Probably. I don't think that there's ever going to be a label where fat and total fat are like unrelated from each other. That's like not how like the human body would work, right? So probably we're going to have some sort of like property tree. And then here, they're probably telling us like, this might not add up, right? Here they have 1, 2, 3.5, 4. They have, these guys make up 4 of the 4.5 grams of total fat. So you need like a, you need like a way to have a property. And these properties are probably like global, right? All ingredients have like the same set of potential properties, so that you can graph them, like, so you can graph your like protein intake for the day, right? So we're gonna have like a table of properties. And then maybe it just makes sense for us to edit the properties table separately from everything else. That's probably easier for now, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have like a properties table. And in him, he's gonna be like ID, right? Of course. Name. Protein. EI, and then probably like unit, right? Probably. And then in here, we might have like children. Right? Maybe. Maybe. Then on our side, we go milk. We got properties. Each property we're going to be like 4, like, ID 4. Key. This is probably key, which is going to be the property ID, and then value. Yeah. And so, like, in this context, we would have like 8. Right? Right, so here we say this is the key protein who has this unit and is related to these things, but you just fucking huck that in here as property key value. 8. And then what happens? How do we display the idea that total fat here is like more than the rest, right? We need to it just means that we should input here, probably we end up with like, if we had like fat, right? We'd have something like fat. And he has children. right? And that's like an important like aspect of this guy, presumably, right? And so in here, maybe like the UI presents this as like, in UI you could have this as like fat split with like saturated, trans, and like whatever, like dot dot dot, right? And then maybe one of the fields is here is like other, right? And maybe other just gets its own thing. Or what's probably easier for us actually is that we just make a fucking other. Yeah, we just do like other fat, that's a property, and we just log that separately so that we don't have to worry about the tree. Well, we still need to worry about the tree, but it means that we can store categories separately from things that can have values, right? So here fat is like, actually this is a category. No, because sometimes yeah. Or like maybe this is like uncategorized. Yeah. Or unknown is another good word for this. So this way we can kind of sum all of the things together. Bro, just eat healthier. Shut up. That's not the fucking point. This is all foods have stuff in them. And I want to know the stuff. I want to know what I ate. I think that's not a crazy fucking ask. It's just I'm gonna freak out. Yeah, that seems kind of reasonable. Right, that seems reasonable. So we have like a category that has children. Then in children, or maybe it's the other way around. Right, it could be that here we store category here. Every property has a category. That feels pretty good. Right, because then your select statement is just like, if you're trying to see like what fat I ate, it's like just sum everything that I ate that has category 4. Okay, that seems kind of reasonable. So that works for like the fat case. But then what about something like calories? Right? Calories is like not a thing that has a category in this scheme. It's just kind of like a thing that exists. So maybe we have support for properties that are uncategorized. Yeah. So that, I think that works. So we could say like initially on first entry we have like sodium, right? Or maybe, okay, let's use the fat example actually, because I think that's good. So say there was no total fat label on here, it just said like saturated fat, right? So we would go in here and we would add a property for saturated fat, right? We'd be like name saturated fat unit grams, right? And his category would initially be unset, right? Then later we're like, oh shit, that's actually part of this category. So then we come in and we edit this guy and we say category is this newly found fat category, right? And once we have that, then all of the stuff that we've previously entered just like ends up in that category for free. That seems pretty reasonable to me. So which means we can start by skipping categories. Yes. Is there a standard regulation that you get the schema from? I don't know. I also don't know if I care. I feel like this works well. and is like super flexible. I don't really trust that like I'm going to want to conform to some schema, right? I think that I just have like stuff, just kind of hand wavy stuff, right? Because like maybe I want to, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like this. So let's start by creating a properties table and a properties table editor. Do we want to hard code units? I guess maybe unit is maybe wrong here. Maybe we want to have like mass and volume as our two options for units, and then we can convert between like some known quantities, right? We'll know grams, we'll know milligrams, we'll know kilograms, we'll know pounds, right? Or like liters. Like we can kind of like convert between all those as long as we have like on like in backend unit conversion. And we can just start by saying all masses in grams. We'll say the database will store everything in grams or liters or like or milliliters or something, and figure it out from there. I like that. Cool. And then probably at some point we're gonna have like unit conversions, right? And we'll have some things we'll have like weight conversions or something. Maybe that'll be at like the ingredient level, not the property level. At ingredient level, we would convert mass to volume, and then we can say how many grams of fat we got from some volume of something. Yeah. Kind of meta question. What's your feeling on storing obvious-ish keys as just another ordinary element in JSON instead of using an associative array? E.g., ID milk properties versus milk properties. I think you're doing the former, and I think GLTF did too. While I would naively gravitate towards the latter. So I think the reason to do it this way, as ID4 instead of 4 : is just so that if you call ingredients and you get like a list of all of the different ingredients you have, right? This means if you do it this way, it means that the thing inside here is going to be the exact same thing as if you were to call ingredients 4 and get one of them, right? It means that like you don't have to like have different parsers to get the IDs out, if that makes sense. I think that's why I've like seen this in REST APIs before, right? It's because of the fact that you might be getting one or you might be getting all, and you can treat them the same that way. I think. So I'm going to lean towards that way. I don't think, in reality, I don't know how much it matters, right? But I think like that's why I put the ID field like this. Yeah, okay. So okay, this is a saved file, which is hype, which means that we can come back to this later. And let's just make the properties table. So here we're gonna be like, ingredient properties, I guess. And in here, we're gonna definitely have an ID. And what do we say is gonna be on here? We're gonna have ID, integer primary key. We're gonna have a name. Unique name seems pretty fucking reasonable to me. Categories we'll just ignore for now, and we'll add that later on a version bump. And then unit ID is going to be an integer. And I guess we will just hard code unit IDs in the app. I think people don't really like that. I think some people think that you should have everything you need to parse in the database so that like if another app happens to use it later, it's easy to get out. But I think this is fine. So we'll just have unit IDs as like an enum, and we'll just flag like, unit ID, unit is enum, and we'll say, you know, this is like you wait back to enum, and we'll have mass, volume, and we'll just put a fucking do not reorder stored in DB. Or you could to make it a little bit more explicit, you could do it like this. 2DB returns you know, i32 C int or something, and we switch on self. Yeah, that's probably better, right? That's probably better. Yeah. I mean, this is like more code and more duplication. So I'm actually gonna go back. Yeah, we'll just do this. We'll do that. I think that's fair and fine. Okay, so then we'll have this table ingredient properties, and I guess that means that we need like I don't know. Probably like we're gonna have like an add properties API, right? Add property. We're probably gonna have properties. Ingredient. Add ingredient property. I guess we need to put things in the database before we retrieve them. That seems reasonable. And he's got a name, and he's also gonna have a unit. Right? Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. And then does this return like his ID? Maybe it returns the ingredient property. People sad me when I see X's 3 lines of code. This shit is wizardry. This is such a good answer. You should look into Perl, famous for having few lines and making all readers happy. You're this poor guy. He like doesn't know coding like at all, and he's gonna go look into Perl and he's gonna believe you. He's gonna go do it. And he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Okay, so we got ID here. We got name. We got unit. And in reality, this probably doesn't have to return it. I guess it does. The rest way is that you call put on the thing and then it returns the thing back. I think that's like the typical rest behavior. And even if it's not, we can just make it our behavior. That seems fine. Okay. So this guy's gonna be like insert into. Okay, let's just like copy paste this. We're gonna be like insert into ingredient properties, name unit values 1 2, buckle my shoe 3 4, shut the door. Shut the fuck up. We prepare a statement. We later finalize the statement. We need to bind in the things that we care about, so we're binding in the name at value 1, and we want to bind the int at 2, and he's gonna be, you know, int from enum of unit. Chill. Then we're going to try to insert that thing, and if we did not complete, then we are fucked. Cool. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. So can we figure out how to do that? So somewhere we're gonna be like name. We got a name that we're injecting. Add ingredient property. And his unit is also going here. It's going to be parsed as a unit, but when it comes in over the wire, it's probably going to be string. We also have to be careful here. probably on like over the wire, we probably want this to be string. Which means like we probably want to do some sort of like format JSON, you know, whatever pub function format JSON or whatever, to turn this thing into a string. I don't remember the API for that, but we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. So here we're gonna parse the target as well as the method, I think, right? Because we're gonna be doing resty. We should be doing like HTTP puts, right? Which means that here we should be like HTTP stood HTTP method, and I guess if we're like looking at ingredient properties start, it's like ingredient properties. I don't know if the rest way is to put S's on these, but also I don't give a fuck. Okay. Now this is starting to look a little bit like common code. So what are we doing here? We're like parsing out like potential REST APIs that we expect to like either be the start of the thing or like we have like a category plus like his child, right? So there's probably some sort of like parse like parse REST API, right? And I guess we'll probably assume for now that all of our APIs have how do I say this? Like integer ID children. I think that's probably going to be true of everything in our application. So this probably returns like REST target. We could do something like this, right? We go like, you know, we might return, you know, base. We might return child with an ID. Or we might return I guess that's it. The other one would be not a match, but we can kind of handle that with a null. But that might be kind of worse than being like, you know, not match. I think this is kind of nicer usage-wise. Right? And then we can kind of just copy-paste all of this stuff. We're probably parsing like the target plus the name category. Yeah, sure. And then this is like, we probably want to do something that's like, if this is comp time category, then you can do like compile time string concatenation like this. I don't know if that's better. It means that every version of this, every time we use this, it'll like create a new function, which is like maybe fine. It's so little code that it doesn't really fucking matter. It might be better. The other option is for us to make like a buffer here, you know, a buffer on the stack, print into that buffer, or do like a scratch allocator here. And then do like stood format, alloc print into scratch with, I guess it's probably better to do this as like a, you know, alloc, scratch alloc, so that we can then say like, you know, we can like checkpoint the scratch allocator and be like, you know, do our best effort to, you know, not over allocate. This is essentially free, so why not? Then we can do like an alloc print on this guy with like slash string slash with the category. Yeah, that's fine. We can do this way. Fuck it. I'm down. I'm down. Category target, I guess we should call it. And then we probably do this without the trailing slash. So if std_mem starts with... We probably want to check if it matches exactly first. If it matches, okay. So if it doesn't match, that's the key. If and then we don't even do this, to be honest. If target 0 has to be a slash. It has to be. But we can check anyway. If target len equals 0 or target 0 is not equal to a slash, return, what is it? Not match. That's step 1. I guess we could actually do a target length check off rip. If this is less than category len plus 1, return not match. There's no way for that to match. Then we don't have to do this. Then we can just do if the check that the first thing's a slash. Then check if the first chunk matches. Right. If this is category, then return not match. Right? Now we know that at the very least we're the right category, but we need to check that if target category len is... Let me think for a second. If target len is equal to category len plus 1, return, this is base. We've kind of matched the category and only the category. Now we need to check that now we're like expecting us to be a child. So we need to ensure that this guy at category len plus 1 is equal to a slash. Okay. So if this is not equal, return not match. And then we should be able to just parse the rest out. Right? This should be able to parse out from category len plus 2 onwards, and we have to say if target len is less than category len plus 2, return not match. I think that's right. That seems right to me. Child ID. This could be wrong, but maybe it's not. We can see. This feels like such a disaster. But I don't really feel like it's... How does that line return work? The leading dot just means auto-resolve the type. So rest target is a union enum, so we're saying use the child segment of this guy and assign his ID to be the ID that we parsed. And I guess this is like catch, return, not match as well. That seems reasonable. So now we should be able to be like parse REST API with Scratch. What is our shit? Scratch, target, and category. Why are we even using this? Scratch is not used here in the slightest. So target and ingredients. Okay. So if this guy is base, we return get ingredients. If it is child, return get ingredient, boom, and then not match, we do nothing. And then we do the same thing here for ingredient properties. There we go. So we get ingredient properties, get ingredient yeah. And then here we probably also want to use the method here, right? So I think that we can kind of, if we pass the method here, this can return like get and put. And then here we're just going to be like, you know, method here, stood HTTP method. Here we're like, switch method, get, return, get base, put, return put base. Yeah. Else, return, not match. Yeah. Yeah. We do the same down here. Get, return, get child equals ID. Yeah. That feels good to me. So now when we call parse REST API, we pass in the method here and here. Get base, get child. And then here we just do else. Yeah. So we put on the ingredients list. Let's start here. Okay. How fucking broken are we? 348. Should be like this. We get the method here. 147. I guess this means that this guy needs, he only has add ingredient properties. So really this should be put base is return add ingredient properties. Property. And he wants to parse the body. So here, that means that we actually need the body as well. And then here, we need like a fix me. Unreachable, I guess, for now. We'll say we need to parse the body, but for now we need to get the body, which is something that we've never done before. So HTTP reader, we probably want like, make contiguous slice given our scratch allocator and the body start like this. Okay, cool. Then we can pass body here. Cool. So then we're gonna have like add ingredient property here. Params. And we should be able to stitch this up to like self db add ingredient property with params name, params unit. Okay. And then we get the ID back, or the property. And then we do write this shit back. Seems good. Who's bitching? Who's bitching? 121. Unused function parameter body. Yeah, true. This is going to be used here later, but we haven't got there yet. We do not return the ingredient property. So here, we need to retrieve the ID of the thing we just inserted, which I know is possible. I just don't remember how. Last insert row ID. All right. I seem to remember there being like race conditions here. Is that like a thing that can happen? I guess you could like do it as part of a transaction, but also we're single threaded. So fuck it. No. All right. Whoa. Like this. Yeah. Okay, so that compiles, and we're gonna panic as soon as anybody uses this thing because we wrote unimplemented, but we should be able to be like curl with a put. Is it like curl put? Curl -x put, and we're gonna be on localhost. No. And then what was it? It was like ingredient properties, right? That crashes them because he gets to the unreachable because we haven't figured out how to put stuff on here yet. Sick. So now all we have to do is, I guess, make sure that our HTTP reader knows how to wait for the body to be completed, which I don't think it exists. So I think that when we get the header, one of the fields should be like the content ID or something. I think we need to print out that. And then how are we getting to the part where our connection is like ready to go? We say if the thing has a header, then we're done. But we should probably like more check if like the HTTP reader state is complete. Right, so we should be checking like if the state is equal to body complete. Then we do these things, right? And I think that we're just not doing that right now. So we read the header. He's fine. Then we need to read the header until the content length matches, probably. So we need to check. We need like a header parser, probably. Can we just like unreachable here for a second? I assume that works. No? Interesting. Oh, it's here. It's under finish header. This is where we'll crash. Yeah, okay. So if we are here, we probably need to like check the content length. I assume. So here we want to iterate over the field. So can we just do like header. Can we just print the header? Are you not forgetting the ID for put and stuff? Oh, I'm just, I mean, yeah, this is not doing the right thing, but we're not even trying to parse the body yet, so we have problems to fix before that. So right now he's just like, I got nothing, which makes, or he doesn't have any like idea that there's like content length or anything, which makes sense because we're not actually sending anything in here. So if we did a curl, there's like, you can do like with data, I think. Yeah. Content type like this. This feels like what I've seen before. Right? So he should see that we've got content length coming in of 16 bytes. And so I guess the body's not ready until the content length field is done. So that's how we'll treat this. Is that we need to like find content length. We need to parse value. Which should be simple. Should be simple. This guy should just have like a field iterator. And he's going to return like, output. Maybe, eventually this will end. Yep. So this guy's going to have like a key and a value. And how is this going to work? We're going to be like line iterator probably we're going to have is going to be like a std mem split iterator u8 of sequence probably, right? We're going to be like, we have this field iterator and we're going to say line is the line iterator next or else return null. Pipe. Pipe. We're gonna say split the line with a colon. If you see a colon, I guess we could just do like index of, right? And then it's probably something like this. Key end is this guy, or else return null. Or maybe this is like a failure. Invalid key. Or no key end feels about right. We know that it ends in an R, like a RN, a carriage return new line, so we can find that. Or we can just say like well, I guess this line iterator is going to be splitting on \r\n, so it's really just key is a trim of the line from 0 to key end. And does this trim take in like white space? So we can kind of do something like this, right? And the value is also a trim of those things, but from key end onwards, right? Now we have to be careful that key end is not the length of the thing, which it can't be. But if key if it's the last character, then that's a problem. So if key end is equal to line len, return error missing val, I guess we'll say. Or we can just say the value is empty. That seems kind of fine. Yeah, that seems okay. I'm okay with that. Then we just return key equals key, value equals value. Boom! Now this guy needs to be initialized somehow. Right? And so I guess it's kind of like on this guy, we have a function that's like field iter who takes in the buffer that he's working on. So this is header content, we'll call it. Yes. Yeah. And he just returns stood line iterator is stood mem split iterator split sequence on content with rn. Boom. Okay. And this should be field iter, my bad. So now down here, we should be able to go over these things. Var field iterator is header self header field iter on the header. Yep. And while field iterator next, we get some output. Or field, I guess. If we have a field a key of content length. And I guess we probably want to like lowercase this thing. Probably. I think that's valid. But we can just do it for now, I guess. Lowercase question mark? Not sure. Yeah. So if we have a content len, then we stood format parse int into a usize of the value. Okay. And I think what we do is we try to like find the content length from this thing. Like parse, like get content len. And maybe that's just actually a thing that lives on the header itself. That's not a crazy thing to exist on this guy. Right, so we could have like pub function find content len. And this is going to be like, you know, maybe there's a thing in here, maybe we errored, there might not be one. And, you know, this takes in self. We fucked up here, by the way. This needs to be a HTTP header. And they need to parse the content from the self field start to start self fields end. Oops. Yeah, so he's gonna be like, it's kind of more like this. Okay. And we need content here. Yep. Return null. Yeah. Cool. So now where the fuck we were before, we can look for the body length. And we can say like self body len is equal to header find content length given the header. If we fail, it's 0. And I guess if it's null, it's also 0. So like really, what do I give a fuck? We can even just return 0 here. That's kind of easier. Should be content length. Probably, huh? True. which I think means that I want this to say linked as well. Okay. So let's print the content line here. No, 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 no. Bum, 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 bum. Did I just wrong twice? I did. Oops. 173, he's mad because, right, I don't know what the fuck this is gone now. Okay. Whoa, 18. Yeah, sure. This can be tried here, that's fine. If the fucking thing is invalid, it's invalid. Okay. Hello? Segfault? Segfault? That's not good. That's not good. What the fuck? How do we manage that? That's really not good. So the HTTP reader is just garbage and we're still using it? Why? That's really not good. That's really bad. How the fuck do we manage that? Okay, so it's at least consistent, which is good. So it's like, is the handler here good? That's good. I mean, that's like a thing that exists. So in here, p self optimize out, great. So this thing is garbage. The connection itself is total trash now. That's kind of fun. That's fun. Vanny, thanks for the raid. Much appreciated. Okay, so how the fuck did we manage that? This poll function is called... I mean, it's pretty clear that this is related to the fact that the connection is getting canceled. Right when I hit Control-C on this thing, he's used something. So it could be that we just got, like, the close logic out of order. I wonder if we're returning complete, then getting polled again. That seems kind of likely. Maybe not. Connection failure, no key end. Wait. So we're probably erroring here, which means that this is bubbling up. We're returning complete, which is fine. Should be fine. So then in our event loop, we're getting that this guy on like poll somewhere, we're calling close, then releasing, which I think seems fine. We might want to get a little careful here. We might, if we do this, we might end up seeing different behavior. Yes, okay, I understand. So what's happening, I think, is that we've connected to epoll, and we said, hey, epoll, when this file descriptor says something, call this handler, is essentially what we're saying. And then we invalidate the handler because he says he's done. And then we get hung up on. So this, I think we just don't wait for hangups. Or we check if the handler is valid, but I think that really we should just be... I guess the right answer here is removing the file descriptor from epoll. so that this doesn't fucking happen. So if we complete, we need to make sure that we do like equal delete. I assume that the file descriptor is in here. Yeah. Oh, it's not. Interesting. So the file descriptor is not, we don't like write that down. Which means that we have no way of like unregistering it with epoll here. We don't know what file descriptor at this level it is, and we just need to. So that means that like, ew. I guess our handler, we could just say you need to have the like the OS handle in here. And then that kind of solves a lot of problems. Because then we can just go here. Handler dot fd like this. And then what are you supposed, what's like the fourth parameter there? Event argument is ignored. Okay, cool. So this is okay. And then this means that everybody who uses this thing is going to be fucking broken now. So here, this guy returns self inner handle. Boom. Cool. And then 451 is mad because, you know, we're trying to call handle on this guy, which doesn't need to exist anymore because he's going to be part of the handler now. Okay. Hype. And then somebody else is gonna get mad. He's mad because wait actually doesn't return errors here, but this thing can fail. I think this thing has to, like, we have to, things will segfault if this doesn't go well, which means our wait just has to, like, bubble up. Okay. Cool. And then 134 here, another guy's doing the wrong thing. So he's just like, hit the handler, please. All right. That should solve that, but you never know. Break. Yeah, cool. Cool, so that solves that problem. Nice. Go us. And now we gotta go back to why the fuck is this returning no key end? Really, it would just be nice if we logged error return trace here so we can see exactly what's going on. I mean, we should be able to figure that out by ourselves, but is this not? I thought that the error return trace. Oh, is it error return trace and dereference or something? Yeah. So he's pissed because in the field iterator there's no key end on something because we are incapable of finding the colon on the line. Okay, so that's 46. Can we just crash here instead so we can take a look? Where are we at, baby? We're at 6. All right. What's in the line? What's the fucking problem? Why is the line starting at, oh, length 0? That is interesting. Why? So he's just seeing an RN off rip, which kind of makes sense. Can we print before we get here? Can we print the header? Like, what the fuck is going on here? What's going on? So it's this, right? So we get put ingredient properties, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's because we said fields start. We said the fields start here before the \r\n. So there's got a leading one there, which is a mistake. Which is a mistake. So this needs to be +2. And then that should work. Should. You never know. Nice. So it's better. Now we're not crashing, but we're seeing that the content length is 0 when it should be 16, so that's a fucking bug. So also, where did I put that unreachable? We need to undo that. So can we just print for now? Field key? Like, what's going on here? What's going on? I mean, that fucking exists. Maybe it's the parse is failing? Could be. Ooh, it is. Ah, we're fucking dumbasses, dude. The iterator that we wrote is... This should be +1. Oops. Is that right in terms of boundary checks here? So if key end +1 is less than or equal to line length, then we do this. Otherwise, then we can index at that thing, and we're good. Okay. I think so. Still 0. The fuck? Why? Length 0. What? The fuck? I've never heard of this language among today's popular languages. How do you become interested and start learning it? I think I saw it on Hacker News a bunch. And it was just like on the list of things that felt kind of good. Was that condition inverted? Shut up. Yes, it was. There we go. That's looking pretty good. 16, baby. We finally fucking parsed out the content length. Okay. So now, when we're in the header complete stage, we just keep reading, I guess, until the length that we read is like larger than the expected length, right? So we say like, if self buff len is greater than or equal to self body len plus self body start, we move into the body complete stage. And otherwise, there's nothing to do in the body complete stage. We're fucking donezo. So we have like nothing that we really want to accomplish there. Which should mean that once we are in the body complete stage, we should be able to get to here. And so now we should be able to be like, hi, you know? And now we should be able to see the JSON shit, but that's not happening. Which is surprising. If the buffer length is greater than or equal to the body length is there some sort of like wild true shit that has to go on here? Yeah. Yeah, so it's because we're going from the reading header state probably to immediately to body complete. So here, if I think we just need to do it there as well, or just call self grow 0. Yeah, trigger initial body check. I think that will kind of do the right thing. Gross. Okay. There we go. So now we're back to this guy being unreachable, but can we print the body now? No symbol body. Okay. But we can print it here probably. So now we're like, we're getting to the point we've parsed, we theoretically have the whole body now. Theoretically. Which means that we should be able to parse it as JSON. Theoretically. So let's do this. Just before this unreachable, let's just print the body real quick. What'd we get? Let's just see. Key 1, value 1, baby! Let's fucking go! Okay, so now we can do HTTP puts, which is huge for us. And I guess... So... I think... we parse an ingredient property with just ID is equal to undefined. Which I don't know if that'll let us do. Because I know that if you do like a std JSON parse, he's gonna be like, hey, there's a missing field there. Which I guess is fine. So I guess it just means that we define like another struct that's like the same, just with the ID field missing, and then we call the function. So I guess we can call this like add ingredient property. And I wonder if you could do like remove ID of DB ingredient property. That's kind of cool. That's like a thing that you can do in Zig, which is like fucking crazy. And then you could do like remove ID from some type and return a new type. And you can go like is this easy to do? Is this fucking crazy? I don't want to do this. This is not worth it. This is not worth it. It's like fuck generic programming, dude. This is crazy. We'll just do it like this. However cool it would be, it's just not worth. Parse from slice. We got our slices and add ingredient property. We're trying to fucking parse it with our scratch allocator if it's here. Do we have one? Let's get one. Phallic. Stud. Phallic. Scratch. Okay. So now we can use that guy, which... we probably want this to be leaky, actually. And then we use our scratch allocator. Boom. We pass in our string, which is the body. And with parse options, which I don't give a fuck. Okay. So now we should be able to be like, I guess if this fails, we will just bubble up a failure, which is fine. And we return, put add ingredient property equals property. That seems reasonable. Okay. And then that should be piped all the way up. Yeah. Stack piles? No, obviously not. 361. We forgot that we want to pass in our scratch allocator now. I guess really kind of more correct is for this to be allocator. And for this guy, he doesn't need to know it's scratch. He just needs to be like, we're gonna leak some shit onto this allocator. I think that's kind of more correct. And then the name Leaky makes it pretty clear to anybody calling that, you know, he's gonna be that way. Okay. Curl. This should fail. Oh, this is not what I expected. Why did we crash? Whoa, Pat. Oh, hit unreachable? At bad F here when we try to remove the handler from the file. Oh, that's annoying. So sometimes we do have to delete the motherfucker and sometimes we can't. Jeez. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, we're probably double closing actually. Yeah, I think we are double closing like a dumbass. Yeah. No, wait, is this? Yeah. So we're closing this thing, and then our poll result is complete because we closed it here or something, which means that when he tries to remove it from the epoll loop, this is like a thing that we should support. I don't feel like that's crazy. But I mean, for now, we can just return complete here. Oh, but he's still gonna close him. Yeah, he's saying unconditionally, I want to fucking close this guy. But he could just not do that. What if he just didn't do that? Then this guy's job is to close the connection here, and then he returns complete here. I think that kind of solves. Yeah, I think that solves it. Yeah. Yeah. I think that does what I want. Yep. Cool. Now he's just complaining that we can't parse the thing, which is like totally fucking normal because it's wrong. Right? So we need to pass in a thing that has name and unit. Name is hello. Unit is mass. Let's do something like a fat. Okay. So now he's going to still say probably that he can't parse the unit because he doesn't know how, would be my guess. That would be my guess. Well, he is saying syntax error, actually, which is kind of weird. That's pretty surprising. So maybe I print this thing first, just to double check. Wherever the fuck we're trying to parse that thing. Which is in, like, serve? No, it's before. It's wherever we get this. Yes. All right, take a little peek. Okay, curl x put. So we're like, is this not valid JSON? Oops. Oops. Let's get to a command line. That's valid JSON. So doesn't feel like a syntax error. Syntax error might just be like if the unit's not parsing correctly. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. We'll say mask by default. We'll curl without the unit, and then see if that succeeds. Which it doesn't, actually, which is really interesting. That should work. I'm actually quite confused. Yeah, it's very strange. In what world is that a syntax error? Unexpected token? The fuck? What in the fuck is going on here? Is this, like, got some trailing shit on it or something? Is there, like, some, like, secret characters that I can't see that it's getting? He thinks that oh yeah, that's fucked. Okay. Fine. If he's gonna be pissed that he's getting 166 characters, he can shove it up his ass. Why is this so long? Body is... make contiguous slice from start to end. Yeah, I mean, that's either this is bugged or either like the make contiguous slice is bugged or we're reading way too much data. Both are possible. Banger song's the name. Cocoon, Milky Chance. So I guess we breakpoint here. HTTP reader buffland 166. And what is this? 0. Do we just never set body start? Hold on, let's double check this. Continue. Yeah, that is just fucked. But then also, like, it feels wrong as well because, like, it's starting at the right spot as far as I can tell. Which, like, what the fuck? Something here is fishy. Something's fishy. Okay, P start, P end. P start, P end. Okay. So... Right, so this is what we're getting. So why is this not just like the whole fucking shebang then? Oh, wait, we are just printing out. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Okay, we're just fucking not setting body start then. Oops. Oopies. Okay, P body. That's better, but he's got the double trailing RNRN on there. So body start here should be... Oh my god, what is happening here? So we look for the needle, we find RNRN, and we need to add 4 to this no matter what. Yep. Here is probably this one. This one already... The fuck is going here? Here are... We're actually... This is header end, not body start. That's why. That makes more sense. There we go. There we go. Fix neat ew. It was very ew. I stand by that. There, that looks really good. That looks pretty good. This is kind of funny. There's just like fucking trailing shit at the end. But I guess that's what happens when you use your scratch allocator and never free memory. Kind of just, you get old garbage in there. A little sketchy, a little scary. Okay. So does this just like kind of work now? Continue. Now SQLite is mad. Interestingly. Because the prepare statement at main 306 is wrong. Insert into ingredient properties. Name unit values 1, 2. What's it pissed about? That seems fine. Oh, I guess 306. Yeah. Insert into ingredient properties, which is the right key. Name unit ID. Unit isn't the column. Unit missing. No, we've got unit auto resolved to mass, so SQLite should be happy. There we go. So now if we look at the look at our database, we should have a fat with a unit of mass in there, which would be hype. So we do have here ingredient properties fat 0 hype. And then I assume if we do this a second time, he gets mad because it already exists. Good. So he's upholding the unique constraint, which is really cool. Now let's try to parse the mass value correctly. Right, so let's see if Zig is clever enough to parse out the mass part. Which actually it might be. Unit, can we do volume here? And then can we do name fat2? Wait, that's actually shocking if that does what I didn't think that this would work. Sick. Sick, sick. Okay, so he is now adding these things to the database. We have properties in here with fat2. Fat is measured in mass. Fat2 is measured in volume. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. It would be nice to get a little farther here, but it's also 410. So the question is can we attach these to ingredients in like 15, 20 minutes? Probably not. Probably not. So I think this is a good natural spot to call it. It feels like we didn't get that much done, but we have to remember that we had no support for sending body in our HTTP request before, so now we are parsing puts. That's new, and we are like correctly parsing the JSON for these things. We have an ingredient properties table now. We've kind of designed our schema a little bit. Yeah, so I think good progress for today. Not a native English speaker, but isn't mass a measure rather than a unit? I could see the confusion there, right? If you think that unit is like grams, then like mass is not really the right term there, right? So I guess mass and volume. I mean, I don't think that we would use the word. I don't think I've seen the word measure used there, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? I guess I'm more looking for like, yeah, what is the word for that? I'll bite. I'll bite. Is this type of shit the idiot every time I use this thing I get mad, but maybe he'll tell me something right this time. Mass is like unit is to kg as what is to mass. Quantity? No. Wrong. Measurement? I mean, you did say measurement. Dimension? I guess could be right. That sounds weird to me, but I wouldn't be shocked if the physics people are crazy. But anyways, I think you're not really wrong. Just that not in a way that like I don't think that I would ever see unit volume and be like, oops, right? But anyways, okay, cool. We call it there. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you saw, we stream most days 12:30 Pacific time. We're back on the 4 o'clock Pacific time schedule. We're taking a slight detour from working on this like Xbox controller that we are trying to make to get into, you know, this like website that we're making. This should be a short detour. I'm hoping that like this doesn't last more than a week and then we're back on the controller, but you never know. So yeah, if you want to keep track of this thing, or other projects, there's a YouTube link in the Twitch description where we kind of put the main segments into playlists where we do like feature development is kind of mostly over there. The stream is longer than I think is a reasonable YouTube video though, and sometimes we work on stuff that isn't really like titleable and thumbnailable. So the remaining segments of VODs get put into like this thing we call Happy Hour, which goes into Patreon, YouTube members, and Twitch VODs. These things are all paywalled so that we have something to give people who want to support the stream, right? One day this will end when I run out of money because I need to eat food. But, you know, that day can be extended if you guys feel feel like you want to contribute in some way. So that is an option if you want to, but otherwise, absolutely no worries. YouTube, peace out. Twitch, let's find someone to raid.